August 20th of 2004, which is a Friday, 8 a.m. 12-year-old Garrett Bardsley and his father, Kevin, got up early while on a Boy Scout camping trip. They headed down to a nearby lake called Uinta-Wasatch-Cache in the
I need to help you on this one.
Yeah.
The T is silent.
Una.
Yep.
Unia. I'm getting it. How do you say it?
You are. I'm scrolling up to where it is just so I can read
I
it.
put
so
my.
I say it wrong.
Oh, I put my cursor.
Uinta-Wasatch-Cache.
We'll cut that out. Uinta Mountains in
in.
Utah for some fishing. We'll leave it in. The father and son lived in Elk Ridge and were camping with 18 scouts and 6 or 7 adults from Thursday, August 19th, and planned to leave on Saturday. Garrett managed to get his shoes, pants, and socks soaked with water while fishing and told his dad he wanted to walk back and change back at camp because he didn't like being wet. So his father, he told his father he wouldn't be long and would be soon back fishing with him. So the rest of the Boy Scout group were camped just up the hill at Current 4 campsite, which was only about 150 to 250 feet away. So not very far.
Jeez. That's like, I have a son that's that age, and it's just like,
yeah,
it's making me sick even thinking about it.
So, and they had walked this trail several times before, so Kevin let his son head back to camp alone while he continued fishing because he thought it was no big deal. And it really wasn't, because it was only, I think their campsite was only about maybe 100 feet from the lake.
Yeah. Like very seeable in a direct shot. Like it's,
yeah,
you can kind of hear it.
Joe's looking at
or
an
hear
image.
it, see it, like you, or well, if there's that many people in the camp,
yeah,
in the woods and it's quiet, you can hear that.
Yeah. So all the locations we're talking about are not very far away from each other. So it's a very strange for this disappearance to happen. So like I said, his father didn't think it was a big deal to head back to camp alone, but just in case, Kevin kept his eyes on Garrett as he walked around the lake and even shouted directions, reminding Garrett which path would lead him straight back to camp. After about 20 minutes, though, Kevin wondered what was taking his son so long to get back. He decided to return to the camp to see what happened, and Garrett was nowhere to be seen. None of the other Boy Scouts had seen him at the camp either. So that was, now he's missing.
That's just, I'm like getting chills. Not the good one. Not the good. It just.
Not the good chills.
Yeah, it's just like I said, like it hits closer to home when it's like a kid that you have a kid that's that same age.
Yeah.
Because my son, we go camping.
Yeah.
And if camp was that close and there was a path to it,
yeah,
I probably would be fine with him walking there by himself. And I'm just like picturing what would be going through my head if I couldn't find him. And the woods, I'd be losing my mind. I would go insane. Yeah,
it's not a good situation, but actually, shockingly, only about 40 minutes after he was last seen, the search began. So this is really unheard of in the cases we've covered. Sometimes it's days to weeks before the search happens. Best case scenario, it's usually like 24 hours before they get people out there. But so the campsite was less than a quarter mile from the lake on a well-established path that connected with the road another quarter mile away. A family friend had said the distance to camp from where they had been fishing was no more than 150 paces. So more than 200 volunteers and search and rescue team members searched into the night on Sunday, August 21st, for Garrett, who, like we said, was wearing a hooded sweatshirt and reversible black and red sweatpants. Additional search and rescue teams from Cache County joined the teams in Utah, Salt Lake, Wasatch, and Dutchess counties. He had no supplies with him or backpack. He was carrying a short black and chrome ice fishing pole when he went missing. So search goes on for multiple days. Nothing is found. And then they actually get a break in the search on August 24th of 2004. So searchers scouring the rugged mountains on Wednesday for Garrett believed they found a sock belonging to him. The Nike sock was found in a boulder field about half a mile from the last place the boy was seen. The sock appears that it was taken off a wet foot, wadded up, which was very consistent with what what they knew about Garrett, Summit County Sheriff Dave Edmonds said. He goes on to say, because of where the sock was found, Edmonds said it would be in line with the assumption that he sought shelter from the cold weather, maybe by going into the boulder field for a crevasse or outcropping, something to try to get out of the weather. Edmonds said rescuers would concentrate their efforts in and near the boulder field for the boy who now they're presuming is dead. Around this time, Utah's bow hunting season actually was kicking off, and the authorities and Garrett's father were urging any hunters out in the area to keep a lookout for Garrett. Kevin Bardsley, Garrett's father, went on to say he hopes hunters in the area will keep an eye out for his son or any of his belongings, but he recognizes that searching through 30 inches of new snow would be fruitless. So obviously it snowed a lot. Mm-hmm. The sheriff's office also had tacked up posters of Garrett near trailheads and distributed them to businesses in the area. Moving on to August 28th of 2004, which is now a Saturday, this would be the last full day of searching for Garrett. The Bardsley family had hoped Saturday would be the day they found a clue in Garrett's disappearance. About 500 volunteers, more than arrived the previous 2 days, which tracked at 360 and 318, but far less than the 1,500 the family was prepared to accommodate, showed up to search. Most teams concentrated on the areas deemed to have a high probability of holding clues or a sector organizers felt hadn't previously been searched thoroughly. Volunteers were aware of Saturday's importance. Unlike Thursday and Friday, many search teams held a group prayer before departing for the rugged terrain in the mountains. Sadly, though, in the end, their prayers were not answered. Many bones presumed to belong to animals and scraps of clothing and garbage were collected over the 3 days, but Summit County Sheriff Dave Edmonds said none of it was related to Garrett. He was then quoted saying, "It leaves us believing he's still out there and we will make a find one day." It's now August 29th, 2004, which is Sunday. The search was officially discontinued. They obviously found no sign of Garrett. Officials had said that a 3-mile radius in the rugged mountains from where he was last seen was thoroughly searched. So, very strange case. We've got a few more details in the timeline here. So, now it's a timeline range, August 29th of 2004 to October 24th of 2004. After the official search was halted, the family and a good number of dedicated friends and strangers continued search efforts, returning at least 2 or 3 times a week. We know, here's a quote from Kevin. "We know that is often discouraging at the end of the day when we haven't found him or any signs of him, but we want you to know that every area that we search gets us that much closer to finding him." That was written by the father on October 11th, which was posted on the findgarrett.org website. His father went on to tell the Desert Morning News that Friday that he is hoping hunters in the area will pay particular attention. So, the hunting season, you do have a lot of guys, especially bow hunters, just out in the wilderness. They're good tools to look for clues.
It's a ton of manpower that's just out there.
They're out there anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you see anything out there, they can report. It's going to help.
Yeah. So the father went on to say that Summit County Search and Rescue Team will continue to do some periodic searching and training exercises through the winter. The father goes on to write, "I was up there yesterday passing out flyers and maps to hunters. We have information posted at the mouth of the canyon, both directions, and in Oakley, asking people to look and what they should look for. But right now, unless the weather warms suddenly and melts, everything we're shut down." So, pretty sad end to the search for Garrett. We're going to fast forward several years now to August 3rd of 2009.
I want to throw one thing in there.
Yes.
Because I was looking just for random images.
Yeah.
Another boy, it's not shown on the screen, but a boy just a few months later went missing right in the same area.
Oh, yeah.
And so Kevin Bardsley, Garrett's dad, was among the volunteers that searched him. They actually found
the remains.
The 11-year-old alive.
Oh, they did.
They didn't find Garrett, but it was a boy, a scout, 11 years old, like almost a very similar story went missing, but they actually found him 4 days later.
Wow.
But Garrett's dad was in among the searchers, so you can tell he's like...
And that is a common thing we've seen in other cases where the parents will join in on searches for other people in the same area. Well,
they know the pain.
Yeah. Oh, and they know the area because they've been out there
searching. They know the area,
searching,
they know, and I think they can relate to the parents of the other people, so he helped find that other kid, so that's kind of...
If you go to their website, they actually have a list of people that have disappearances in that area that they've been tracking and updating. So they're continuing to try and help other people that go missing in this area. So, all right. So we're fast forwarding a couple years where originally people thought there might have been a break in the case. So like I said, August 3rd of 2009, the Summit County Sheriff's Office received a tip from the America's Most Wanted television program that Bardsley was spotted with 2 men at a grocery store in Nevada at the end of July. This is a quote from...
That's very specific.
Yeah.
That's like what do they have? Do you have info on how they got the tip? Okay, sorry.
Getting ahead of me here.
I am sorry.
So a female in Elko, Nevada explained that she was 20% sure that she saw Garrett Bardsley in a Smith's in Elko. Summit County Sheriff's Office Detective Ron Bridge said in a telephone interview. He goes on to say, we receive a lot of tips like this, but this one actually came through America's Most Wanted, so it was a little different for us. The sheriff's office sent an investigator to retrieve video footage from security cameras at Smith's Food and Drug Center in Elko. He went on to say, we have seen the Smith's footage from their security camera. It's not 100% clear, but the possibility of it being Garrett Bardsley is very, very slim. So in the end, they ruled it out, but for a moment there, they thought, I mean, how amazing would that be to find out that he was alive?
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
And what kind of story led to that?
Well, it would be crazy. It'd be good that he'd be alive, but it'd be clearly like a kidnapping of some sort.
Yeah. And like, what's the syndrome where you actually start to like empathize with your kidnappers?
Nightingale syndrome, or no, not that one.
No,
I'll look at it.
It's similar to, like, I can't think of the word.
Okay, you keep going. I'll look it up. It's gonna, as soon as I look it up, I'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.